You're not gonna blackmail me, not again.
Hello and welcome to Negative Space, a podcast where art students talk about art school.
Do we?
Wow.
You don't sound very convinced.
I am not convinced, but I'm sure that there are people out there who are convinced about our
We've
legitimacy.
duped them into thinking that we actually have constructive things to say.
Well, maybe we're just not actual art students. We're just, two strangers who just made up these fake lives.
Oh yeah, we went through all the effort to come up with the classes that our characters would be taking and personal turmoil. It's never mentioned on the show, but in the back of our heads, we're just like, this is their dramatic backstory.
We sit down and we put together character sheets like D&D.
Yes. This is actually the longest con.
We have been absent for a long time. I think 6 months it's been since we've recorded the last podcast.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think it was over the summer that we did the last one, but we're gonna try and come back to a regular schedule, I think, if we can work it out.
I'm gonna try. I have faith in our ability to keep it up. I think we can do it.
All right. Yeah. Your faith in us is inspiring and possibly misplaced.
No! Don't say things like that. You're gonna jinx it.
You're right. I believe in us. You're right. Positive thinking. How's school been for you?
It's alright. I'm taking one art class this semester, as we've already covered in our previous borked recording. But I'm taking one art class this semester, which deals with rendering photorealism with graphite and colored pencil. And we just started the colored pencil unit, so I'm having a good time because I like colors. And
we should put a link to the work in progress, that picture you did.
Oh no,
because I like it.
If I finish it before then, and if it hopefully turns out well, I will link the full picture.
I liked that, just the work in progress picture too, because it's just kind of cute, and the picture itself is just it looks good just as a picture.
Aww.
Whether or not the drawing comes out good, which I'm sure it will, because I have faith in you.
Positive
thinking. Yeah, we've mentioned this before, but I'm just gonna go over it again since we lost that recording. I'm taking it kind of light this term. Normally I take 4 studios and 1 academic, which I guess is I don't know, I talked to a couple people and apparently that's not a normal thing to do, but that's kind of been my normal so far in the year. So instead of taking 4 studios and 1 academic, I'm taking 3 studios and 2 academic classes, which is a little bit lighter, which means that usually if I space out all my work right, I can have 1 or 2 days a week off. So yeah, either I just take those days to just not be doing homework, or sometimes I'll just go back and work on some other stuff so that I can have some better work. But yeah, I was just telling you about how I feel in the past when I've had to take a lot of classes before, sometimes you just have to say, this is good enough.
Yeah.
And just kind of, do whatever you can to have it finished, just have finished to put up on the crit wall. But this term, I'm trying to stay away from that, trying not to be happy with just what's good enough and actually finish something that I think is good and that I'm done.
Being your best you.
I know. It's difficult because it's so easy to just one of the things about my class that I'm taking right now with this teacher called Will Weston, he's kind of the head of the entertainment department here. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care whether you do your homework or not. He doesn't know who anyone in the class is, first of all, so he has no idea who you are. So he's not checking the homework as in grading the homework. He just if it's on the wall, then he'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna check cross-reference it with your name. So if you don't do the homework, he's not gonna know. I mean, it doesn't matter.
It's all for personal
yeah, that's not what the class is about, like the class is about you and like how good you want your work to be, so that's an easy class to skate off on if you really wanted to, but that's not the point, so.
I mean, art school is like a sort of thing where like if you're there, you're there because you like really want to be there.
Yeah.
Unless your parents are like loaded and you just don't want to do anything, then it might
What a peculiar pick though to like do that. I don't know. But yeah, so that's been my life so far. We're in our 3rd year of school, both of us. We were reminiscing about how long it's been since we've started the podcast, even though we've only had 12 episodes.
We've only had 12 episodes, but gosh darn have they been 3 years.
Hey, that's like 4 a year. Or like a quadrennial. Oh god, what's the term?
I don't know. Try not to think too hard about it.
Yeah.
4 years.
4 a year.
4 a year. One for each quarter.
That's not too bad.
A quarterly podcast.
Quarterly. Like a quarterly earning report, but for podcasts instead.
Yeah. Also, we're not earning anything.
Pay me.
Me?
No, just like the general public.
Oh.
Just like, give me money.
Just like, give me money.
Yeah, just in
providing
general.
A service. Should give me money.
Take it. But yeah, this week, we were thinking about topics to do, and we kind of thought maybe portfolios would be a good subject.
Yeah.
Because, we're running into our 3rd year of school, and this kind of gets to the time of your, like, student career, your learning career, when you actually have to start thinking about, having professional work, not professional work, but, like, work that you can put in a portfolio that hopefully you can use when you get out of school. So that's been a lot of fun, and by fun, I mean stress.
Yeah, I haven't really had time to work on my portfolio so much. Like, it's been a lot of, like, academic classes that I've had to get through. Next couple semesters probably are going to be, like... Because I just got into the illustration major, like, finally. So, next couple semesters are going to be, like...
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of portfolio, I think. I think that's going to be my jam.
Yeah, we just got our assignments for... We have this thing called 5th term review at Art Center. So, basically when you hit 5th term, you sit down with some of the teachers that are in the track, and you show them your work so far, and, like, they decide whether you're in bad shape or not.
Yeah. It's like a parent-teacher conference, except you're the parent
exactly
and the teacher.
Like exactly. Yeah, they just kind of, like, look at your portfolio, and they're like, so you are bad at this, and maybe you should work on it before you graduate the school. So that is what has been on my mind lately, because basically you have to put together a portfolio of work that you've done at school in the last couple terms, and also like personal work that you've been doing, which, by the way, has been basically 0, so that feels bad.
Yeah. I haven't had much time to do personal work, but I feel like the projects that I'm working on right now and like descriptive drawing with like the colored pencil, and like they're gonna be like full like especially the surrealism one, I feel like that's gonna be pretty good for my portfolio. Luckily.
Yeah, basically I just like put together a bunch of stuff from all the classes that I've had so far, and then like 3 pieces that I kind of just did on my own time. Like, I tried to do a project over the summer, and it just failed horribly because I was depressed.
Yeah.
So, what can you do?
I know that. I do know.
Yeah. It's rough. Like, I thought summer was going to be, like, totally fine because I didn't have any school.
Yeah.
But, like, my brain was like, hey, by the way, you're just sad all the time for, like, no reason.
Yeah.
And, like, when you're in school, you can kind of be like, oh, it's because I have a lot of work to do, like, that it's justified. But it was the summer, and I, like, literally didn't have anything, and I was like, okay, something's wrong.
Yeah.
I recently, it just says story time on the show notes.
Yes.
Okay.
No spoilers. This is spoiler-free show notes.
Let me start from the very beginning, which is that I've actually started looking at internships, like, to actually apply to internships, because 4th term, 5th term, kind of your 3rd year is kind of when you start to think about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have been looking at internships to apply to, and one of them that I really, really, really want to do this summer is NASA JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory here in Pasadena, has an internship over the summer.
Yeah.
For a storyboard artist. Basically, they have you come in and like translate documents and like technical drawings into like things that normal people can understand, I guess.
Yes.
So I've been working on a portfolio for that, basically because I don't have any storyboarding work because I was not allowed to take a storyboarding class until I passed my 5th term review. I have been working on my own kind of storyboarding project where I'm like boarding a short story out of I'm boarding a Neil Gaiman short story. So I've been working on that. That's like one of the things. And my friend contacted me and he was like, "Hey, are you interested in applying for a contract job?" And I'm like, "What?" He's like, he has a friend who worked with this VR company, and apparently they are looking for a storyboard artist on contract to work on this project. And it was all so super fast. It was Thursday morning he contacted me, and I was like, yeah, I guess. He's like, "Do you have a portfolio you can send?" I was like, So I put together really fast this portfolio that was like some old storyboarding work I did in a perspective class, plus the like work in progress for everything I've done so far, plus like some other like technical drawing and some like thumbnailing and stuff. And I put it on my website and I sent him a link. And yeah, I guess I was like, "Oh, I think I just applied for a job." Like, it was so fast.
That's so crazy.
I didn't know what I was doing the whole time, basically. It was like, anyway. But yeah, I'm glad I had a website up already, because that would have been sucky to have to like try and do that from scratch. But I just kind of put together a PDF and then I uploaded it on my website, and then I like made sure my resume was on my website too. Oh yeah, I recently wrote my resume for the first time since high school.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's like I looked back on my resume from high school, which is absolutely hilarious, the things that you think are important when you're in high school.
Yeah.
Like, got 2nd place in a national French contest. Like,
no.
Cool. Nobody cares. Like, that's not important. Yeah, I've just been looking at, like, every time we have our graduation shows, I always grab people's resumes from their grad wall so that I can just look at them later and hopefully, like, reference them when I'm making my own resume.
Yeah.
So that's what I was doing. And it's, like, just... It's like when you go to skills, like, normal people, they put, like, Microsoft Word, and you put, like, oil painting.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
It's weird. I know how to use Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. It was just... Anyway, so that was my story about how I, like, accidentally applied for a job, I guess.
And you got it?
No, I haven't heard back from them.
Okay. I thought that you said you already got it, and I was like, what the... Like...
No.
I was freaked out. I was like,
no.
Sam!
No, I have not heard back from them. It's been a couple days, so I am beginning to think maybe they just are not interested and just don't want to contact me.
Yeah.
But you know what? It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt to do.
You don't
stuff
lose
like
by
this.
applying, or you don't lose by sending your work in. So, except in my pride, but that's okay. Yeah.
It's a good story. That's a pretty crazy story.
It was just so fast.
Yeah.
I got up in the morning and I went to my computer and I was like, what? And I just spent 15 minutes, 20 minutes in Adobe InDesign, slapping some work into a PDF and then putting it online. And I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. Anyway, I'm still hoping to get my portfolio together by the end of this year so that I can apply for the NASA internship, which I really, 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 really want to get. Hopefully.
I believe in you. I believe in your abilities.
Other portfolio stuff? Yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking a lot about my portfolio recently because the classes that I'm taking are starting to get to a level where it's like, yeah, some of this might end up in your portfolio.
Like, you can actually use it. Like, it's not just, like, building skill.
Yeah,
like, it's, like, portfolio grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling about, well, like, my singular art class that I'm taking this semester, where I'm, like, I can see this actually making, like, having an impact on my portfolio and stuff. So, it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm taking a layout class, like it's basically a layout for feature animation, but it's just, learning to draw props and learning to draw just stuff that isn't people.
Yeah, like basically that's cool.
Everything that isn't people, you have to learn how to draw.
I want to take a class like that. That sounds fun.
It's a really, really awesome class. I mean, Will's a really good teacher, so I've been seeing a lot of improvement in my work, like, just in this class alone. And it's exciting because I am really terrible at drawing characters, so it's like, look, finally, something I'm not bad at.
Yeah, it's always, like, nice to be in a class where you actually, like, feel like you know what you're doing a little bit. Like,
yeah.
In my current class, like, with the black and white stuff, and the graphite, like, God, I hate graphite powder so much. Like, I have a giant jar.
It's so bad for you, too.
I have a giant jar of graphite powder, like, just sitting in my closet, and I'm staring at it with hatred.
It's so bad for you. Breathing in graphite powder is, like, really bad for you.
Yeah, that's also not fun, but it's just, like, because, I'm, like, okay, when it comes to art and stuff, I'm not very, like, controlled or, like, clean. Right, I get pretty messy sometimes. So working with something that's already messy is like, no, it's not good.
Oh my god, we have this one class we have to take. It's an intro to painting class, but it's called Sketching for Illustration. The teacher is really famous the class is famous for being, like, difficult because there's a large workload, but the teacher is, like, super cool. His name is Bob Cotto. And one of the assignments that he gives, one of the big parts of the class, is that you have to use charcoal dust in order to tone your paper, and then you paint using an eraser. So, like, you tone the entire paper, and then you erase out the light areas. So, but the thing is, like, he only, like, usually, like, you can tone your paper beforehand and bring it into class, but for the very first day that he wants you working in charcoal, you have to do it in class. So you have to bring this huge tub of charcoal powder. You have to grind it yourself, by the way, out of these charcoal sticks. You can't buy the, like, store-bought charcoal powder. You come into class, and, like, everyone's got, like, face masks and gloves on, and, like, you, like,
terrible.
have to do it in class, like, smearing charcoal all over the paper, and everyone comes out of that class on that day looking like they work in a coal mine.
That's great.
But that's the worst day. After that, it gets better. But yeah. It's funny to see.
No, I hated graphite powder so much because, like, I just, like, make a mess, and I'd be like, okay, well, I, like, don't know how, like, there's no way to, like, lift it off the paper either, like, after a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, like, in there. But with colored pencil, I can be so careful. I love it. Like, even like, though I'll, like, I don't know. It's just, like, easier to control, so it makes me happy to use it. And I also like working with color a lot.
Yeah.
So
I have never used colored pencils in a finished piece before.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so the problem is that it takes, like, forever, right?
Really?
Well, because you have to, like, especially with, okay, so have you ever done, like, a photorealistic, like, colored pencil thing ever?
No.
Okay, because I've done it, like, a couple times before this class as well as in this class, and basically what you have to do is you have to almost treat it like paint, right? Where you are like, okay, you have to, like, mix these colors, like, people who are, like, inexperienced, like, they might, like, try to just, like, use a straight color. You can't do that, because, like,
of course.
It'll just turn out flat. So, like, there's all, like, this mixing that you have to do, and it's all, like, super, like, minute stuff.
Mm-hmm. You have to, like, mix on the paper. Like,
yeah, you have to mix on the paper. And you have to blend.
Wild. Like,
It takes a long time.
I used to be really bad at painting. I've gotten a lot better recently, because I've been taking a lot of painting classes. But painting in general is, like, just, like, no.
Yeah. I want to take more painting classes.
I can't imagine what colored pencils.
Yeah,
it's just like...
Does thinking about it stress you out?
A little bit, because you're like... Because I would be so afraid of, like, you can't really lift it out, can you? Like, you can't really erase it. You just have to do it right when you put it down.
Yeah, you have to know what you're doing when you're doing it. So there's a lot of, like, testing colors and, like, mixing stuff off to the side and, like, seeing if it works out, and then, like, doing it on the paper and, like, hoping that you didn't, like, press too hard of a certain color.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Yeah.
Damn, I've been trying to get better at it, but usually I'm, like, pretty messy. Here's the thing, like, I'm really fast. I work really fast, but I'm really loose.
Yeah.
Which is good in some cases. Like, sometimes if you're, like, storyboarding, that can be really good, because you can do it really fast, and as long as it's readable, then it's fine.
Right.
But, like, when it comes to painting, you can't, especially because I've started oil painting for the first time in a really long time, in a portraiture class, and you cannot just put whatever the heck you want down when you're oil painting, because it doesn't dry. Like, so anything you try and paint over it will mix with whatever's underneath it.
Yeah. So well, unless you've, like, waited for it to dry for, like, a week.
Right. Like, for, like, yeah. But, so when you oil paint, you have to be very deliberate about what you put down and where and how much. So I'm like, and, like, it's crazy because you watch my teacher paint, and he'll spend, like, a solid, like, 10 seconds just looking at it, and then he'll just put his brush down for, like, just, like, a mark, and he'll be like, yeah, that's it, that's perfect. And you're like, oh, God, how?
I know. No, it's like, it's crazy, like, you know, because now that we're in college and we're, you know, like, high school art teachers, like, they're usually, like, pretty good, but, you know, sometimes there'll be, like, students that are better than them.
Yeah.
Like, high school. You know, not always, but, like, a lot of the times it's just like, oh, right, like, you know, you know art, but, like...
They're teachers
they're
first
teachers
and artists
first.
second,
yeah.
You know?
It's almost the other way around in college, where they're, like, you know, artists, and then they also teach.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, that's tends to be the case most of the time.
So just, like, watching teachers that, like, know exactly what they're doing and watch them do exactly what they, like, mean to do, and you're just like... Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God, my, some of our friends, we were talking last night, I had to go into class today. I don't have class today, but I went in to talk to Cliff Nielsen, my teacher, so that he could look at some of the comps I had, and my friends were like, oh, why do you have to go to class? Why don't you just email him? And I was like, oh, you know, Cliff doesn't answer emails from his students kind of as a policy, because he's like, emailing is for my clients. Like, I don't email students. I'll answer emails for my clients, but not for you guys. And they're like, oh, no, that's like, oh, that's terrible. That's a terrible policy. I was like, no, you don't understand. He's, like, working.
Yeah.
Like, he teaches on his weekends because he likes it. Like, not because he's, like, you know. Anyways. But he's fantastic. Oh, my God. Cliff, do you know the Narnia books? The one they did that cover with the one with the giant Aslan on the front?
Yeah.
That's him. He did that.
Oh, that's radical.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me look up, because I remember it, but I don't. Oh my God, I'm gonna sneeze. Ah!
Oh.
No, never mind. It's gone.
Do it. No, you see, you said it, now you can't.
Yeah. As soon as you acknowledge it, it goes away.
Yeah.
Chronicles of Narnia. I'm gonna try to find.
It's the one with the Aslan on the front.
There's like two. Well, every single one has Aslan on the front.
It's one where it's just Aslan's head. It's like gold. And it's in the center.
Here, I'll send you the one that I think that you're talking about. Is it this one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice.
Yeah. He also did the Mortal Instruments series that got made into that really awful TV show recently.
He did the every time I see an ad for that show, I, like, start laughing.
I know. The books were, like... You know what he said in class? It was really terrible, too. He said, yeah, you know, this is some of my work. Yeah, I did the covers for, the Mortal Instruments series, which, if you're a 14-year-old teenage girl, you've probably read. And I'm, like, sitting there next to my friend.
Were you embarrassed?
And he turns around and he just says... You've read it, haven't you? And I'm like,
oh, God. Possible. He knew.
Yeah, he did those covers, those ones that you just sent me. But it's like, oh, okay. Why you gotta call me out like this, Cliff?
That's good that he knows, though. He actually knows. He knows
He's the best. I love him so much. He makes yaoi jokes in class all the time.
What?
Like,
excuse me.
Like, he was talking to us about how, like, he was like, yeah, listen, you gotta be really careful, you know, about your health and your hands. Like, you have to really protect your hands because that's how you make a living. And he was talking about how, like, he knew some girl who, like, was an artist and then she got into a car accident and she couldn't draw anymore, and so she basically, like, her career was over. He's like, yeah, listen, guys, you gotta really take care of your body and take care of your hands.
Yeah.
I want you guys drawing yaoi well into your 80s. And we're like,
no.
What? What? Excuse me?
He knows.
I know.
You know, I'm looking at these Mortal Instruments book covers, and, like, the lighting is super nice. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, he's really cool. He did all the Young Wizards books, too, the covers.
You're such a nerd.
I know. I'm gonna ask him to sign my book at the end of the term.
That's good.
Yeah.
God, it must be cool to do book covers. That's something that I wouldn't mind doing. I think I could be good at that probably. The thing is that, like, a lot of, this is kind of going off on a tangent, but a lot of, like, books nowadays, like, instead of actually having illustrated covers, they'll just, like, use shitty Photoshop.
Yeah, it depends on the genre, I think.
And it's just like, oh, cool. You know, it would have been, like, it wouldn't have looked, it looks ugly. It wouldn't have looked ugly if you hired, like, one person to draw your book cover for you. Taking jobs away from illustrators.
There was a period of time when I think the publishing industry was doing especially badly. I think it's getting a lot better now, actually. Like, book sales have been going up and stuff.
Have they? That's good.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so it's like kind of doing better. So it's like it's not, the prospects are not too bad out there, I think.
That's good.
Whatever you want to work on when you get out of school, that's kind of what you have to build your portfolio for.
Yeah.
Whether it's like book covers or entertainment designing or, you know, stuff like that. So, yeah. I was talking to, Will was giving us a lecture in class about portfolio, like how to set up your portfolio if you want to work at, like, a feature animation studio, basically. Basically just telling us about how you want to set up your portfolio, especially because it's a layout class, so he was telling us about how to set up your portfolio for a layout portfolio, which is, you know, like, you do couple pages of, like, props, and then you put the props together into a drawing, like a finished layout drawing, and then once you do that, you take that layout drawing and you take it into Photoshop and you paint it, and you paint it in different lighting conditions, and so that you can show them that you can design props, you can draw, and, like, you can paint, and, like, you know how to light, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and then, like, how to format it so that it, like, looks good, because I guess one of the things that they really stress at Art Center is, like, presentation is really important. Like, how you present your work is really important. Like if your work is really good, but, like, you present it, like, really, really poorly, then it can still cost you, so.
Yeah, I know, when it comes to art, like, presentation is just, like, the entire thing. Like, so even if, like, your individual, like, work is good, if you don't, like, visually, like, present it well otherwise, it's not going to come across.
I know I still have, like, a year and a half, basically, but it feels like I should be ready now. It's like, you know what, the work you make now should be good enough.
I'm probably going to end up spending, like, another year after this in school, just because, like, I haven't had the, like, I have so much, like, I have to do GEs, and then I have to do, like, all the art courses on top of that. Mm-hmm. So it's been hard to, like, get it all in.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to, like, end up spending even more time and money.
I don't know if I'll be able to. I think I can graduate in 8 terms, which is kind of the 4-year setup if you take 2 terms a year.
Yeah.
But I've recently looked over my degree audit, and basically, like, I was like, wait, there's, like, so many classes that I still want to take.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many classes that I feel like I'd be missing out if I didn't take them before I left this school. And so I'm, like, trying to figure out if I can actually just, like, cram them into the last 3 terms that I have left, which seems horrible because
you'll die.
Yeah, some of them are pretty heavy, and, like, having them together in the same term seems like a bad idea, but at the same time, like, I don't want to miss out on that.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple classes that it's recommended kind of around, not, like, actually recommended academically, but recommended by, like, the teachers and, like, other people who've done it before, that you take the class twice. Mm-hmm. Like, you take it once, and then you sit in a second time. And that seems really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Just worried about the future. Like, one does.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I'm just mostly worried about getting everything done in time. Like,
yeah.
My brother is going to be going off to college soon, too, so I'm just like,
Oh. Does he know where he's going?
No, he's a junior still, so, like...
yeah, you're right.
We're exactly 4 years apart, so my parents, like, I think they had the 4-year system in mind when that's, like, not really so much a thing.
You know, the thing is, if you can graduate, then I wouldn't worry too much about the art classes, because you can take those outside of your school in places that might be better than, like, trying to do them at the same time as trying to get your academics done.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of places in LA.
My problem is just, like, trying to, like, get out in the first place. I'm just, like...
Yeah.
I need to get out! I need to get out in time. I hopefully can. I don't know if I might have to do, like, mad financial aid stuff and be super in debt as you do.
Yeah, I mean, if you can, like, I wouldn't worry about the art stuff too much, because, like, amount of money that you would spend paying for another semester of school or another year of school is, like, way more than if you just paid to, like, take classes outside. Like, you know, like, it's like $600 to take a brainstorm class or, like, a CDA class.
Yeah, so, exactly.
You know, why would you spend the $20,000 to pay for another semester? So, yeah. I think it'll be just fine.
It will be fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. Have you set up a website for yourself yet?
I have not. I mean, it's, like, not a personal website because, like, I don't feel like paying for it. I have a portfolio blog where it's just all my portfolio work, but it's, like, still hosted on Tumblr, which probably isn't the best.
Yeah. Well, it's okay as long as you keep it just, like, portfolio work and nothing else.
Yeah, it's been all portfolio work on there. I probably need to clean some stuff up, like, some stuff that I thought, like, oh, it would be okay in high school, and it's just like, no. You need to replace...
I've had my portfolio website for a while, like 3 years, because I wanted to host this podcast on it, and I thought, well, we might as well just use it as my portfolio website and host this audio at the same time. And I recently just went back and reworked it so that it has a new theme and it has some other new work on it.
That's cool.
Just trying to see. I just finished my midterm for the Cliff's class, which is a digital painting class.
Oh, right. Is it the one that you sent me?
Yeah, it's the Joan of Arc one.
Yeah, that one looks real good. I sent it to a few friends just to show off how good you are.
Oh, no!
And And I had some people asking me if you were a professional artist, and I was like, no, not yet. She's studying.
Aw, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
Super into Magic the Gathering art recently.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I recently bought a bunch of Magic the Gathering art books because they're super cheap. Like, not super cheap, but, like, considering how much work is in them.
Is put into them?
Yeah, like, it's, like, $25, and these books are huge. There's, like, 100 pieces in them, and they're all, like, full color. They're all, like, really nice, like, paintings. And the best thing is that it's, like, all different kinds of paintings, too. It's, like, there's character pieces, there's portraits, there's landscapes, there's environments, and they're all, like, there's, like, action ones, and there's, like, you know, it's just really, the amount of variety that you get is, like, really, it's really just awesome. So I've been using those as inspiration a lot.
I wonder how much the Magic the Gathering guys pay their artists.
It's pretty good. Like, apparently like, getting a gig with Wizards, with the Magic the Gatherings, like, kind of, like, being in that, being commissioned by them. Yeah, it's like a kind of a big deal because they are really proud of how
artwork.
Yeah, it's a big deal for them. Like, art has always been a really important part of Magic, so they've always tried to, like, it's like one of the few places where, like, artist credit is right on the card. You know, like, the name of the artist is at the bottom of every Magic card, which is not something that you see a lot.
Yeah.
Because kind of the artists themselves are part of the community and part of, like, the fan base. Like, fans are really, they really connect with certain artists and, like, certain artwork. So it's like it's crazy. Like, the more I learn about the Magic the Gathering community, the more, like, just interested I am in it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I don't know anything. I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. That's, like, completely out of my circle.
Yeah, like, as a card game, it's, like, cool. It's, like, cool. And then, like, the history and, like, the actual, like, rules and, like, you know, how to play it and stuff. That's, like, really interesting stuff. But also just the community that exists around it and the amount of history that's in it, it's massive. Like, you would never know until you kind of looked into it.
Yeah, that's neat. I would be interested in, like, getting into that scene possibly just because I like, you know, I don't know, I like the idea of, like, designing, like, book covers and, like, album covers and stuff like that. But I don't know anything about the franchise at all. I feel like I should be somewhat involved with it before I would, like, even begin to consider that sort of stuff, like, working in that area.
I mean, I don't know, like, I would love to tailor a portfolio to, like, you don't really, like, apply, you kind of just, like, you send in your work to them, to the art director, and, like, if he thinks you're a good fit, then, like, they might contact you, but that's, like, a big deal. Like, I don't even begin to dream that I might possibly be someday asked.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. No, I you know, it's just, like, the trading card game scene in general is very interesting when it comes to art, because they have to, you know, commission artists for every individual thing that, like, every time they want to make something new.
Yeah.
Or if they want to, like, change it up. So it's very interesting. But
yeah. I'm trying to, like, figure out what direction my portfolio should take, because I know for sure that I wouldn't want to do character design because I am terrible at it, and it's something I'm working to get better at, but there are a lot of people out there who are just already, like, that's, like, the one thing that they really like to do already, and that's, like, not me. If
you, like, don't love to do it, then it's probably not, like,
especially because there's so many people out there who are already so good at it, you know, and that's like everything they live for. So I don't think that would be what I would pursue, but, you know, I really like this layout class so far, and I tend to really kind of like perspective things, so I'm trying to figure it out.
I can see you working in production design stuff.
Yeah.
Like, working in, like, props and stuff.
Yeah. I actually am I'm going to apply for an independent study next term with the teacher that I'm TAing for right now. Essentially to do production design on a TV show episode, like taking taking a book and then having it, like, designing it for a TV show, basically.
Right.
But I don't know if it'll get approved yet, so we'll see if my independent study goes through, and if it does, I'll do it. If not, I'll have to wait for another year, another term, and see. Alright, time to move on to drawing in public corner.
Yeah, you have another story, don't you?
I do. I wish we should go drawing together sometimes.
I know. Out. God, every single time I, like, talk to art friends, we're always just like, we should draw together, and, like, we never do. Like, I did it with Sam a couple times recently, but we were just, like, working on homework and, like, watching, like, BuzzFeed Unsolved.
That, I don't know, like, it's, like, I would rather do that. Like, I don't really know about, like, going with, like, an artist and just, like, sometimes I see, like, on Instagram, it's like, oh, we, like, sketched together, and, like, they did these, like, really cool drawings of things, and I'm like, how did you, like, I can't really do that very well. Like, if I don't have a very good, like, structure and, like, an idea of what I want to do, like, I can't just sit down and, like, draw something cool. Like, that is not how I work.
Yeah.
So I'd be, like, really intimidated to do that with someone, but I don't know.
I don't know. I end up working, like, I've been ending up, like, working on homework with Sam a lot. Not you, obviously.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
I know.
It's confusing having two friends that are named Sam, and we're like, all art students. It's pretty bad. But, no, we like, have been, like, doing homework sometimes, and it's nice. You know?
Yeah.
There's just, like, you're just working on your projects.
Yeah, that kind of is what happens with, like, when people come over or we, like, hang out here at Art Center. It's like, oh, you want to just come over and work on your homework?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to do anything fun, but you can work on your homework.
It's nice to, like, have people to talk to. And I mean, like, that, like, carried over from high school, too, where we would just, like, all, like, talk together, all working on our projects.
Yeah. But yeah, recently, we haven't gone out drawing together, but I have done some drawing out, like, just kind of out recently. Like, I went to the car show again, as I usually do when it happens. I know I had some funny stories last time from the car show. This time, not as much, because I was with someone. I was with, like, some people. So, like, no one really approaches you when you're, like, obviously kind of in a group.
Yeah.
I did have one guy who came up to me and, like, wanted to talk to me, but, like, tried to ask first if I was from America.
Oh, no.
And I was like, yes, I am.
That's really bad.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't, like, he didn't, like, come up and be like, are you from America? No, it was, like, he was, like, talking to me about something, and it was, like, just kind of, like, offhandedly asked if I was, like, from this area. And I was like, yeah, I'm from the Bay Area. But the funny one was over the summer, actually, when I would go to Starbucks to work. I was trying to work on that project that failed, but I would go to Starbucks to work because I had a hard time doing it at home because it's, like, too easily distracting.
Yeah. And so, or, like, your parents will, like, come up to you and they'll be like, what are you doing? You should be doing this instead. And it's just like,
I went to Starbucks and I was drawing and I was using my tablet, and that tends to intrigue people a lot because they don't see it very often, like, using a drawing tablet. And this one guy who was sitting across the table from me, like, just wanted to ask me, like, he's like, oh, what are you doing? Like, are you and I was like, yeah, I mean, explain that I'm an art student, explain, the whole 9 yards, like, yeah, I want to do entertainment design, and, like, that's kind of yada, 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 yeah, it's digital, yes, Photoshop,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, like, I'm an architect, and he, like, starts showing me, like, all these, like, architecture stuff that he does, and, like, I'm like,
no.
That's cool, and he's like, and then he asked me the, like, weirdest thing. He was like, what do you know about books? And I'm like, what? I was like, he's like,
what do you know?
He's like, I'm putting together this book of stories that I used to tell my kids, or something like that.
What?
Like, he had all these stories that he would, like, tell his children as, like, bedtime stories, and I guess he wanted to put it together into some kind of book. And I guess his mind was like, well, she's an artist, she can do that kind of thing. And I'm like, he's like, do you know, like, how they bind the book? And I'm like, yeah, you can, like, get it done at, like, FedEx, you know? And he was like, I had no idea what he was asking me. I don't know. I had no idea what he was actually asking me. But he, like, asked for my email and, like, it was like, yeah, I'll contact you. And I'm like, okay.
Did you actually give him your email?
I did, but he never contacted me. So okay. I have no idea what it was about. But that was weird.
I'm surprised you didn't give him a fake email.
I mean, he seemed pretty genuine. Like, he just really wanted to know, like, how to do that. I was like, if he wants help, then he can hire me.
It's so weird. Like, just, like, the assumption, like, you know, because he's an architect, so you'd think that he'd, like, not just assume that every artist would, like, know how to do, like, random crap. But
the thing is, like, I do know. Like, so it's like, I mean, I could if he... But he never contacted me, so I still have no idea what that was about.
That's very, 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 very strange.
Yeah, it's just like, sometimes when you're just drawing in your sketchbook, like, people don't really pay attention to you, but when you have a computer and you have a tablet, suddenly people are like, oh, what is that?
What is that?
They, like, really want to ask you, like, what program you're using and whether, like, computers are gonna, like, make it easier to do art and stuff like that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, sorry, that is weird.
Yep, that was an interesting experience.
It's a bizarre experience. I usually don't have anyone come up to me, but I also usually don't bring my my tablet to places because it's just, like, so bulky, like, to bring, like, a laptop and a tablet.
Yeah.
And, like, my laptop has been running out of battery super quickly lately because it's getting old.
Yeah.
And my laptop is having issues. Like, the charger is kind of broken, so it has to be at, like, the perfect angle or else it won't charge, and it's just, like...
Oh, no, that's the worst.
Just super impractical to, like, use it to do, like, anything other than just working, like, at my desk. So I haven't gone out with my laptop much lately.
Yeah, usually I don't. It was just over the summer that I was like, I can't work at home.
Yeah.
I had to go out.
I completely understand. I ended up, like, not doing anything over the summer just because, like, my parents, like, had so much that they wanted me to do when I was at their house. And they were just like, hey, can you do this? And can you do this? And I was like, okay. And then I ended up, like, not doing any art. And they were like, why didn't you do any art? And I was like, you gotta be doing stuff, man. I don't know.
I would, like, sleep late and wake up at, like, 1 p.m.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to do that. If I did that, like, my parents would have been like...
bad.
My parents would have been like, why are you still asleep?
I did that all the time. I'm still doing that all the time.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I wish that I could, because
I can't do this morning thing. It's
I know.
Just the worst.
It's really bad. I don't know what happens.
It's just... Does it ever get any better?
No.
God damn it.
It's bad. No, I think it does get better. I think it's just, like, in college,
like my body just physically cannot.
I know. It's like that awkward in between period where, like, you're getting out of being a teenager, but, like, I think, like, there's still some weird stuff going on, so you're still, like, kind of nocturnal.
Yeah.
I think your body, like, eventually usually fixes itself, but I also know some people that are, like, in their 30s that stay up until, like, 5 a.m. every day, and that's just their schedule. So, I don't know, maybe not.
That's not reassuring. But,
yeah.
We'll see if I have to, like, do a normal, like, job, like, schedule where you, like, get up and, like, go into work at, like, 9 a.m. Like, you're just gonna have to figure it out.
You'll just have to learn to be normal.
Yeah. Alright, you want to move on to one cool things?
Okay, so my one cool thing is something that some of you, especially if you're, like, in the art world, like, kind of, you know, involved, you probably know about it, but it's the movie that's coming out called Loving Vincent. That's about Vincent van Gogh, and every frame is painted in oils, and it's crazy. It's, like, all rotoscoped, and it looks amazing, and I really want to see it, and I haven't seen it.
It's totally wild. Every single frame of the movie has been hand painted,
and there's,
in
like,
oil paint.
Yeah, and there's, like, two major themes in in the sorry, I got distracted by something. There's two major themes throughout the movie, like in terms of like how it's drawn, where like half of it is in black and white and it's like pretty photorealistic looking, like grayscale stuff, and then the other half is like very Van Gogh, basically. It's like super
stylized
colorful.
In his
it's stylized
style.
Yeah. It looks amazing, like all of it. It just I want to see it really bad.
Well, do you know when it's coming out? It's like soon,
It's
right?
out. It's out
Oh, it
already. Is? Yeah. We should go see it.
I think it's only screening at like 3 theaters.
It's going to be at Edwards West Park 8. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, I don't either.
But we live in SoCal, so we should be able to see like some kitschy art film like this.
Of all places in the world, we are in the area that we should be able to find somewhere that's screening it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't actually care if like the movie itself is going to be like that good. I just want to stare at it because it's eye candy, basically.
I gotta wonder, like, it looks really pretty, but I just from watching the trailer, I get the feeling that it'll be a little bit difficult to watch.
It just seems like it's going to be like really dull, you know?
Oh, you mean like the plot-wise? I mean like just like visually, I think it might be kind of difficult to like just watch from a visual standpoint. Yeah. Cuz especially the parts that are like in his style, like all of the brushstrokes, and I don't know, it seems like it would be kind of like it might make it too distracting for me to actually watch the film. We'll see.
That's what like was gonna get me to, because like if it was just a movie about like Vincent Van Gogh, I would have just been like,
yeah.
But like because it's in the like that's what's going to be like engaging me, because
I know,
it's like watching a Leica movie.
Right? Yeah, it's like really. But the thing about like claymation and stuff, it's like they are very careful to compose everything so that you only have to pay attention to the certain areas that are like really important. But like Van Gogh's paintings, they're all like the focal points, the travel, like there's an eye path and all that kind of stuff. So it's like the whole painting is like you take in the whole painting, right? And when you're watching a film, you kind of can't do that. You can't look at everywhere on the screen at once. So I don't know if it'll be distracting, but we'll see.
That's true.
If we watch it,
I looked up the movie in Google Images, and for some reason, Suspiria came up. Like what? They're a poster for Suspiria, which is really weird. I don't know what that has to do with this. Do you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
It's a horror movie from 70s, 80s, about this ballerina that goes to ballet school in Germany and things happen. Anyways,
that sounds like the kind of movie that I would watch. But
yeah, we should watch it together. It's like gorgeous. It's a gorgeous movie.
Did you ever watch Neon Demon?
Yeah, I did. God, I love that movie.
Okay, I was gonna watch. I don't know. We
should watch it together.
I recommended it to my roommate to do film studies on because I know the colors were really interesting. Yeah. And she's taking a color class it's like a color composition class that you have to do film studies for, like color film studies. But I have never actually seen the movie, so I didn't know if the movie itself was any good.
The movie itself is like, we should watch it together.
We'll see.
It's really interesting. I mean, like, it's about the modeling industry, right?
Yeah. So, it seems like kind of like a little bit horror.
It is a little bit
thriller,
horror,
you know.
But it's like worth it. Like, it's gorgeous and fascinating.
If you say so, Simone.
And people say that it's like over the top and like ridiculous, but that's kind of the point. Like, the characters like say like all these like really obvious things. Like they're just like, oh, like there's this fucking recruiter or something, or she's like the girl's agent, and she's like, I would never call you fat, like to her. Oh. And it's just like, it's so ridiculous, but that's the point, you know?
Yeah. My one cool thing is Gustave Doré.
Do you know who
that is? Gustave Doré is this illustrator from the 19th century? 20th century?
He's the inks guy, right? Like he does.
He is the print guy. So those are all prints. They're all engravings.
Like wood, but the thing is, block?
No, like metal plate engravings.
Metal plate.
Yeah, so like they're all engravings of. But the thing is, like, my teacher recently, like, I knew of his work, but my teacher recently reintroduced me to him because I was doing that Joan of Arc painting, and he was like, you should check out how he does, like, value grouping and, like how he does armies and stuff. But, oh my god, like, number one, his books are so cheap on Amazon. They're, like, $4, and you get, like, 100 plates, like, 100, like, illustrations in that book.
How?
And every single one of them is absolutely incredible. Like, they're all gorgeous. Like,
yeah.
What?
And I have to send this to my friend because I think he'd really like this artist, and I don't know if he knows about him.
The thing is, he did so much work. Like, he was so prolific. He did, like, he illustrated the Bible. He illustrated he did the Crusades. He did, like, a bunch of Dante's work. He did the Inferno. He did, he did Divine Comedy. He did all this kind of, like, insane stuff. And he did, like, hundreds of plates for each one. In his lifetime, he did, like, he must have done, like, thousands and thousands of pieces. And they're all incredible. Like, all of them are just really, really well composed. The way he uses value grouping is amazing. Like, the way he uses line is incredible. It's wild. I just bought his Crusades book so that I could use it for reference. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's, like, tons of this out there. And all of them are super cool. So that's my one cool thing. Because you can get his work super cheap. It's online, too, just for free. And
I'm looking at a bunch of his I guess, should I call them illustrations?
Yeah, they're illustrations. He was an illustrator.
Yeah, these are pretty fantastic. I like this one. I'm gonna send you A1 that I liked. Yeah, these are just like fun to look at too.
Yeah, he's just really awesome. Yeah, like, and the ones that he did for the Crusades, there's like just the value, like just his composition is just really good.
It says that really this one is Gustave Doré too, and it's in color.
Yeah, but maybe he did do some.
I really like that one actually.
Oh, that one's really nice.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's from. That might be from Dante's.
It says Dante and
or Divine Comedy.
Yeah, Dante and Virgil. Yeah, so it's Dante.
Yeah, it's from the Divine Comedy. Anyways, that's my one cool thing. It's Gustave Doré. What a guy.
Just as an artist. That's a good one cool thing.
I think that closes it up for this episode, unless you have anything else you want to add.
I do not have anything else I want to add, other than we're going to try to do this regularly again.
Yeah.
We're gonna try.
Back, boys.
Buckle in. Buckle up, buckaroo.
Please subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.
Yes. Only audio and no videos.
Only audio and no video. Also, we're not actually on YouTube.
Yep. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are on iTunes, so find us on iTunes, and also if you're looking for the show notes, it's at samanthashay.com/negative-space. That's where you can find all of our previous episodes as well, and also, that's everything, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your friends about us.
Don't tell your friends about us. This is... Sam's pretty good at podcasting, but I'm not.
Alright, that wraps it up. Bye-bye.
Bye.